Okay, for glades there's only a couple things. The first thing is I really like to kill this bulb up ahead. The reason for that is because it simplifies things a lot on the way back after you get sign. If you've done the standard number of jumps here, then this one from here to here will have been a front flip. So when you're approaching the bulb, I do one jump on this low ground here up to the high ground, so that this jump is not a front flip. Because if that jump's a front flip, you have to land far right here and tap it for a really short period of time. But if you just jump from one jump up here up to here, then it makes it a lot easier to kill the bulb, so you don't accidentally front flip over it. And then, let's see. Okay, so the Frankie fight, you can just do one big jump at the start here. The visual cue I use is I fire my first shot when I'm at, okay, the dude's corpse in the way. When I'm at this second set of bright white flowers here, is when you can fire the first shot on the Frankie. If you time it well, you can do, even with shot pacing, which is slower than mashing, you can kill this Frankie and then kill this Frankie, the second one, without stopping. But you have to stop a little bit on the second one. Just like, I'm letting go there for only just like even like a frame, just to stop my momentum and make it so Ori has to accelerate again. And then the second one, I fire right after Ori hits the ground. And this here, you want to make sure you don't jump going into this cutscene, because for whatever reason it wastes frames. You just want to be right on the ground. Okay, so for here, whether or not you do the jump over the spore or just do the damage boost, it depends on RNG where you get the health pickup animation. So you can just hit this spore if you want to. If you hit this spore, then you want a later health drop. If you dodge the spore, then you want an early health drop. So since there's no way to tell, you can just pick whichever one you want. This thing's supposed to be dead. It became alive. Okay, so since the front flip is every 3 jumps, basically the one thing that you don't want is your front flip to be over from this left log over to the right log. So to prevent that, let's see, either your last jump before going to the first log needs to be a front flip, or I think your third to last jump. What if it's a second? Yeah, okay, if it's the second to the last jump, you're boned. So, yeah, once you get up here, just as soon as you do a front flip here, just stop jumping. So if you, like, say you get that front flip there, don't do another jump, because if you do, then that's going to give you another jump before going to the log, because that's going to give you a front flip from the first log to the second. And this is really annoying to do if this bulb is here, so that's why I try to kill it. And so all of that is to set up this part over here. The way I do this is about halfway between this log and this log here is when I fire my first shot, and then I just fire 4 space shots. If you try to mash them, it will often just miss the slime for whatever reason, but I find shot pacing to be really consistent on it. And you don't want the jump over the slime when you dodge his quills to be front flip. And you can tell it's going to be if this jump is a front flip. And then, so that kills the slime to get rid of the targeting, because normally the slime will take priority over the spore that's on the bounce pad. And then, once he's dead, you become able to target around here. I use this taller grass in the foreground as a visual cue, even though you can fire a little bit before that, but it's not that tight, so I just play it safe and use this visual cue to fire at the spore. And so you can just do fire that and instantly jump on it. And then I kind of just like, sometimes if you, it has to do with when you jump. Sometimes if you jump at a bad time, the quill will be, it'll have a higher arc, so it'll be slower. I forget. It looks like you want to jump over the slime later, but not too late. I don't know. I don't think this is something that you'll really be able to do consistently. For a human, anyway. So I just look for the quill and make sure that if it's too slow that I need to stop. Okay, so what's the next thing? Oh, yes. Oh, hold on. These mushrooms, or spores, you can actually start killing them a little bit earlier than it looks like you can. I use the peak of this flower as a visual cue. So right when I get about here is when I fire the first one, and you can just smash. Depending on whether or not you took the damage boost on the spore below, I just check my HP here. If you have 3 health coming out from the spore wall, then you have to take a damage boost off this guy. If you have 2 health, you can just jump straight over him. And it's a little bit faster to jump straight over him. Let me think. What's the ideal place to get a health? Obviously the animation stack on the bounce pad, although that can make it troll you a lot of the times. I guess getting a late health is what you would want, so that would make, if you're going for like an optimal time that doesn't include the animation stack on the bounce pad, you would want to take the damage boost on the spore, which doesn't really waste that much time anyway. I actually don't know whether taking the damage boost on the spore down below or the slime up here is faster. They're probably pretty comparable, but in the end it just matters RNG. But so since you have, if you're doing, if you have 2 health here, and you're doing the jump, since Ori has like some number of frames that he can do a mid-air jump after walking off a ledge, it's actually faster to fall a little bit here off this rock and then jump, because that lets you get more of a turnaround here so that you can land right next to this rock. If you jump too fuck, do I not have, I don't have wall jump. Good thing I have debug. If you jump like too late here, you won't be able to turn back in time, and you'll land like all the way over here, and then you have to run up to the rock. So if you have 3 health, which most of the time you will, I think, because you kill 4 spores and they have like a 20% chance to drop health or something. If you have 3 health, then you just jump like on the left side of this guy. I just turn back into him a little bit. You can do it completely continuously, but I like to play it safe. And then just do a short hop as soon as you land on the log. Okay. Oh shit. Yeah, right here. Only do, let me think. Oh yeah, I don't do a jump down here. The reason I don't do a jump down here is because if you jump down here, jump up to here, this jump is a somersault jump, and it makes you land like way too far to the left here, close to that rock. So you're only gonna maybe lose a frame running over this. I don't even know if that's true or not, but this isn't a very steep gradient, so I would assume it probably doesn't even lose a frame. So I just jump up to here and do a short hop, and that allows you to land left, or land right here next to this ledge. So that allows you to just jump straight up here instead of having to spend the time wall running up. And then it's all basic stuff. Okay, so this part, so if you're doing, I only do 2 jumps. Wait, hold on. I think normally this jump is a front flip. Hang on, I have to go back and find out. Let's see, you die here. I have 1 health. I'm supposed to. Nice lag spike. Okay, that guy is obviously in a different position than he's supposed to be. Either that or I'm just a fucking retard. Probably the latter. Anyway, basically you just don't want this jump here to be a front flip over that spore, because basically once this guy's annoying. Basically once you get up to here, up to the high ground here, you don't want to be jumping anymore, because if you do, it'll mess with the spawn time of that slime down there. So I'm pretty sure this jump is supposed to be a front flip, and then I just do 2 jumps here. Wait, that's wrong. Okay, that's definitely wrong. I need to check this. You know, maybe it's the jump when you land down here that's a front flip. So you do a front flip, and then I just do one more jump, and then start running the rest of the way. And then, so, to shoot these spores, I use... The visual cue looks a little bit late, but I use these yellow flowers here. Looks like it can be way earlier. But then here, you also want to make sure that this jump off this rock is very short. So I just flick my key when I do this jump so that it's as short as possible. Basically, you just don't want to jump so high that you despawn this slime, which is really easy to do. So that's why you also don't want it to be a front flip. And then here, the more you run to the left here, the better. Like, because it puts Ori lower, and then you want to be looking at the targeting here to see when it switches from the lantern to the spore, and then you want to start firing as soon as it switches to the spore. And then I do one pace shot, and then I start mashing, and then I just drop as soon as I fire the mashed volley at the end there. But yeah, the further left you are here, the sooner it'll switch to that thing. Actually, it doesn't really matter that much if you get the front flip here. Sometimes it might though. Oh yeah, sometimes it'll make you dodge this experience. I like that experience. That's why I try to avoid it there. And then this guy, I try to land like further to the left here, and then I shoot as soon as I jump over him, and I try to do a short hop over him, and then I do a jump as soon as I land on the ground. And that'll get you past him, dodging his quill without having to hit left at all. And that it does work if you get the health pickup animation from this thing, but it's a lot harder. So you can still go for it. It's pretty tight. So this cutscene is one of the cutscenes that triggers based on solely on x-axis position, at least within reason. So when you're down here, basically, so you can jump through the air, and then the cutscene has already been triggered to start, so you get this free distance, whereas normally it would stop you right here. So you can save a couple frames by jumping into this. Oh yeah, if you're not doing fast Frankie walk, it's actually better to level up on the way out from wall jump. So if you can avoid leveling, until the way out, that's preferable, because it basically lets you skip the experience from one of the flowers in Jinzo tree, and skip the experience from the slime and the Frankie heading into Moon Grotto, because both of those take time to pick up. So let's see, I'll just go down here like normal. It's still fine if you level up on the way down. It's just going to... I mean, you'll have to do a little bit of farming later on. Okay, so for this wall climb, it actually is a few frames faster to start with a wall jump. And just do 4 wall jumps instead of doing a wall run into 3 wall jumps. Not much, it's like 1/10 of a second faster, which is funny because I did the wall run in the task. And then so here you can actually save. It's hard to do, like, to actually save time with this, but you can save a small amount of time if you land as far left here as possible and then do a ninja jump up to the top there. Doing it like this isn't really that much slower. And it might not even be slower at all for humans, to be honest, because to make the other one faster, you have to have a pretty optimal ninja jump. It basically, like, the time that it takes you to get up here will still be the same, but it'll allow you to land closer to the edge here and start getting that ground acceleration sooner, so it can be slightly faster. Alright, unlike the energy cell wall to the left over there, this wall is faster to do a wall run. The only reason for that is because, like, if you jump to the wall here, you can't get it in 2 wall jumps. You have to, it's the same number of wall jumps regardless. The other one, the energy cell one was faster because why was it faster? Because it was less wall jumps, right? No, it was more wall jumps. Anyway, if you do the wall jump here, then you'll have to, like, massively overshoot this. Even with a ninja jump, it'll still take you to... My game is lagging to crap, and this is actually pretty annoying. You'll still have to fall all the way back down. So for the wall run, I like to jump halfway in between this thing here and this thing here. So, like, right about there. And then it gets you right up to the ledge. I think there's something weird with this wall. Okay, yeah. You don't want to try to wall run too late, because if you do, like, you'll notice that Ori, he kind of ramps up off this thing and then starts to slide down the wall. So you want to start this sooner rather than later, otherwise you'll just get a really awkward wall jump at the bottom here like that. Dude, my game is lagging so hard. Let's see. I don't really care about experience. What else is there? Okay, so... Oh yeah, small thing you can do when you're doing this save anywhere, you can save just a little bit of time doing a ninja jump here. And then this is another cutscene that you want to jump into, just like that other one. Once you have dash, it's pretty much almost always, or where's dash? If there's a slope up to a wall, then it's almost always faster to just dash up to it and then do a wall run instead of jumping to it. To be honest, I don't even know what the optimal time to jump to walls are, if it's like a flat ground or a slope down or anything like that. And it also depends on how fast your wall climbing is. I didn't really do much testing of that on the tasks, honestly, because going into that level of trial and error for optimization would have been a huge pain in the ass with the tools that we were working with. But so for this one, you dash right up to the wall and do a wall run halfway up, and then I do a ninja jump the rest of the way. Okay, glide canceling dashes. You can actually, so you have this like animation when you hit the wall that prevents you from, like I'm hitting jump and it's not doing anything, but if you just glide cancel, you can start to wall run immediately. So here, glide cancel, wall run up that, and then land far right here, and then you can actually, let's see, you can actually glide cancel this dash here to go down. So like you dash, glide cancel, down, jump. I don't know, I actually never learned that in my muscle memory. I always like turned around, which is kind of dumb, but yeah, all you have to do is just dash, glide cancel, down, jump. Fuck. Apparently we're watching a cutscene. Oh yeah. Just two more glide cancels here. Glide cancel this one, glide cancel that one. I like to, when I do this, I jump over to the left side of the mushroom, excuse me, to the right side of the mushroom, because it's lower than this side, so it just makes the climb slightly faster when your jumps are more equidistant to get up in range of that Frankie. Holy smokes. Okay, so this part, depending on whether the Frankie, when he lands down here, if he lands on the left side, then that means you got to bait him down like into this part over here. If he lands on the right side, then that means that you can get him to jump straight to the log. So let me get him here. I'm dead. Oh god. Whatever. Yeah, all you have to know is that if he lands down here, you can just make him do full length jumps for all the way up until here, and then he'll land right here. Yeah, that's it for glades.